Hi, my name is Mark, and I am the inventor of a new book binding that allows users an experience that has not been available in books before. This is an adhesive bound book, and I'll give you more details in a moment. But I have done a ton of testing, a bit of market research, and I'm now looking for 170 grand to take this to the next two major milestones. And I super love your interest or participation if you are interested. So basically what I did is I read a lot, and I figured out that these cutouts could be used to eliminate a number of impediments to books being more usable. And so this book lays flat. This is a prototype, very similar to the one that's offered below. And this, as you can see, lays flat in half open. That's what I call half open. And also fully open mode. That's near the end of the book, so that's pretty good. And so there's an example, lays flatter, just a little bit of creasing. So this book I think is 200 sheets, and it's a hardback, and it has what I call as a trapezoidal spine. So I'm going to offer journals initially for a number of reasons, and that's the first marketplace that I'm going to go after. One reason is that there's pretty high utilitarian benefits for journal users, as well as readers. But journal users can take it and use less table space on a cafe, or it's easier to write in on a plane. It's easier to hold and write in. And so just holding this and writing in it, very easy to do. And this is a trade book, so this is a prototype of where I'll go after I work on the what's called the blank book marketplace for journals, diaries, planners, etc. Blank book is an industry term that basically means books that have blank space to write in, not like a workbook, but like those examples that I mentioned. So here's a trade back that I converted. This is also a hardback, and it's a square back, and it uses the same kind of binding design as the other ones. And then this book also fully opens, very easy to hold, fully open and read, and lays flat. Pretty flat. So, very readable. And part of what I was trying to do is just eliminate the kind of the hassle of having to hold a hardback book, up like this when you're in bed or on the couch or whatever. So this is a slightly larger one, and it has what I call a trapezoidal spine, and book just opens up. So this is fully open mode. And I did a ton of work on the bindings themselves for strength, and I'm super happy with where I got to. So in fact, I'm going to test some new chemicals, even some more new methods, new chemicals. So I've got very strong adhesion and page strength. And then I also made a prototype of a really thick book, and because I wanted to test it out and see what the impact was for a very thick book. This is a really early prototype as well, so it doesn't look quite great, but it's a also represents a square back spine. And also I wasn't able to cut the tabs as large as I would, as far into the page as I would like to have, because I wanted to save the print. So this book doesn't quite behave completely like it would in production, but it shows that the book's it's actually much easier to read this way than before it could be fully opened. So that's another example of a square back spine. It's also hardcover and a very thick book. And then this sort of basic binding design is also useful in the for wire-bound books because the size of the diameter of the spiral or wire can be less than the thickness of the book, and that makes it easier for the books to go in and out of a backpack or what have you, and makes them less susceptible to being caught on other things and damaged. And here's one that is an example of a book that has a cover that's also square, and spine is square spine. And then I designed this cover so that when it wraps around, it doesn't increase the footprint of the book at all. So this is very usable. And one of the things that I believe is happening in the plan or diary blank book category is people are being forced into a trade-off between a book that has perfect lay flat and full openability of a spiral versus the sort of nice cover and aesthetics and durability of an adhesive or regular bound book. And so what I think this book does, for at least for some people, is it eliminates that trade-off, and it gets rid of the wire, which I think will be especially, well, I'm already told, that's definitely appreciated in a big way by lefties who, as soon as they open up a spiral, they have to have their hand resting on the spiral. So anyway, these are the books. There's more info below, and I would super appreciate feedback and interest and participation. And if you do, I would really look forward to getting a book to you that is early on in the process and represents what some people in the industry are saying is the biggest change that's happened in bookbinding in hundreds of years. Some people reference back to the 1400s, and so it's pretty fun. So thank you.